Hello besties, so welcome back to my video. So if you're interested in knowing how to make this portrait, how to paint, how to draw, how to make the frame, please keep on watching. So the first time I made a video about drawing process, I stopped drawing for like 4 years, and I made a video on how I did my first drawing after 4 years. And I said the second stage was how to paint. And so I was supposed to show the painting process of that video, but I couldn't. So I started from the beginning again. So disclaimer, I've never painted before. I do draw very well, but I've never painted before in my life. So this painting you're seeing is actually my first portrait, painting my first portrait before. So it's not perfect, but just in case you just need an artwork in your house and you want to DIY it, or you just want to try it, or you just want to, release your stress and have fun, this is the best video you can watch that will help you. So if you're interested in learning how to do this, from the frame drawing to painting to making the frame, because vintage frame can be very expensive. So if you really want to learn how to make a vintage painting, a vintage frame, please keep on watching this video. The first thing you need to do is to start sketching, and in my previous video on the drawing I really explained how to sketch properly, but for the sake of this video I'm going to be brief about it. So first of all, I brought a big cardboard paper and I drew a box line of 12 lines, and I did the same on the picture I am looking for, because I actually printed this picture from Pinterest. So I also drew the same line. So what I did is, where I was drawing according to how it's like 12 boxes on the main picture and 12 boxes on this free bigger frame, because I want to be exact. But if you're a professional, fine, you can just go straight and draw without drawing these lines. But because me drawing this line saves time for me, it helps me. So that is the way I did it. So you can just get a bigger cardboard paper, draw lines, the numbers you want. It can be 10, it can be 5, it can be 12, it can be 16, depending on what. Do the same line on the paper you're looking from, then draw to make sure all the placement are the same, to make sure everything is exact. So what I'm also going to explain now is how to transfer your what you've drawn to your canvas, because drawing straight to your canvas can be very, very difficult. So the best way to do that is by doing what? After drawing, you turn your paper and you shade it with your pen. So after shading everything, you place it on your canvas, then you start drawing on it. You see, so when you lift it, the mark comes out on your canvas. You don't need to stress yourself, unless you're a professional who can draw without actually cleaning. But if you're like me, who cleans a lot, all you need to do on your paper, sketch, shade it, to be very dark. Then after shading everything at the back, then you place it on your canvas and you start drawing. So after drawing, it comes out like this. All you need to do now is to go back and start sketching it. So this was what I did until it came out like this. So to start the painting process, I have to paint the frame, the background first, and you can choose any color you want. For this color I use yellow, red and white. So the lighter you want it, you use white more. So this is what I did. So try as much as possible, when you get too close to the picture, please take it slow, so that everything will be crisp, will be clean. It will not enter your drawing. So when I'm painting on the space, I use a bigger brush. But when it's time to draw close to the lines, I don't know if you've seen it, when it is time for me to draw close to the lines, like I take it, like here, I take it very slow, so that I do not draw into take it very slow, so that I do not draw into my drawing. Yes, because right now I'm just painting the background. So you can use any color of your choice. It must not necessarily be this color I'm using. And take it slow. Paint slowly when you get to the edge of this place, because if you make the mistake and paint it into your drawing, like, I don't know how it will be, but just be careful about it. You can try a couple of times on a rough paper to ensure that you're gonna get a spot. When it gets to the side, when it gets to the bigger place where there is more space, yeah, you can paint. But when it gets to the side, when it gets too close to the drawing, please take it very easy. in order for you to not make mistake, in order for you not to paint into the video as well. And for smaller places, you would need to use smaller brushes in order to get those details. Like you see the side of this eyelashes now, I cannot use that my big brush to get that. So I had to change my brush. So what I'm using is kind of is not is a small angled brush. You can use a small angled brush in order to get this angle. So just take your time. Just take your time to make sure that you're not gonna make a mistake. You see, so take your time, change your brushes when you need to change your brushes. Because the first time I started, I was using the bigger flat brush, but right now because I want to get the corners of this place without actually making mistake, without actually painting on anything I've drawn. So that is the reason why I changed my brush. So you can see I've changed back to a bigger brush. So you just have to a bigger brush, just a flat brush. I've changed back to it so that it will enable me to get get a very fine lines so that I will not have rough paints and rough shading. I don't know if you understand, when you use a bigger brush, it will save you the stress of having rough paints. And I don't know if you understand, everything will just be moving the way you want it. This is based on my own experience as someone who has tested painting before painting this my first official portrait. So I'm just telling you, just in case you're starting out like me, these are the things I did, and if you do the same thing, it will also help you. So just take your time. Take your time. I'm emphasizing on taking this time because it is really, really very important. Also, in as much as is a way for you, to relieve your stress or to help you relax, you just have to take your time, and have fun while doing it. And change your brushes when you need to. For places that are small, use small brush, use small brush. For places that are big, there are enough space to use a bigger brush.
Never really know what's going on. Look at me sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear me out. If all the things you never show, there are the things I want to know. Secrets start in your heart so slow. But if you don't wanna tell me now, I guess I'll never know. Losing almost all my energy. It's getting hard to talk to you, and I'm the only one.
So you just have to keep changing your brushes, when you need to. So this is the final paint after painting the background. You see how beautiful it is looking. So this is what I was done painting the background. So next is now painting in the face, guys. I am not perfect. I've never drawn before. So I've never painted before. So this is my first painting. So learn from my mistakes as well and do better. So before you start a painting, just make sure that you already have the things you need to get ready. So to get this skin look, I'm not a professional, but to get this color I'm using, I actually use Bonds Umber. Yes, I use Bonds Umber. Plus, I use sienna color, and I kind of have this brown color that is like this as well that I use. So first of all, I started with the light painting. First of all, start with light shading, light painting. Yes, that is what you will do. So this color, lucky for me, I found this. I also have a color that is like this in the shop where I bought it from. But also to get this color, you can mix your sienna, your burnt color, and also your whites as well. And also blue, you can mix blue and a little bit of reds. the more darker you want it or the more lighter you want it. You reduce your color based on that. So first of all, I started with painting with lighter paints. Then I go in by the side because your faces has shades. So I painted a darker one. Then I use my tissue to dab where I'm going to have highlights, where the sun is hitting you, dab it with a tissue in order to clean it a little bit. So I actually learned this from the videos I've seen on YouTube, people paint, the professionals painting. And I said I'm gonna do it. So what I'm doing is now is just dabbing those places where there's gonna be highlights, like when the sun is hitting you, there is a place that is lighter. So these are the place, my cheekbone, my forehead, the bridge of my nose. Yeah. And the other places everywhere, other places other than my scarf and my hair, I just painted them this color. Yeah, that is the base colors. Just paint it. Then the places that is dark now, because your face is a place that is dark, you now start using color, a darker color. So this was what I did. I started using mixing my colors. So mix your colors to increase the darkness. If you want more detailed video on color, how I make the color, you can drop that in the comment section, and I will show you guys, and I'll upload a video on how I got this color just in case. So the next stage is to start drawing the lines, the darker parts. I use the darker lines to get the outline of the face. So I use a brown light, kind of brown dark color, and I use a pointed to those lines I drew. I use a pointed a tiny brush. So now, and after drawing those lines, detailing because after the painting, the best painting is more like all the things you drew are no longer clear. So what I did was to use those as tiny brushes to draw out the details, my eyebrow, my eyes, my nose, and everything. Then after, I now go in with the bigger brush to paint the darker part of my face. Then also to draw this eyebrow, am using black. Yes. So yes, I'm just drawing it. This is my first portrait painting, so I'm just doing what I've learned. So if you want to do like me, fine and good. So I use the black to paint, to outline the lines, to outline it, to paint it. So when it gets to making those eyelashes, you have to use a pointed and tiny brush, guys. Please, it will enable you to get the details, because this is your eyelashes. You don't want to make mistake. One of the things I enjoy painting, one of the things that I personally enjoy painting is this eyes. I love painting eyes. I don't know why. This is one of the places I so much enjoy, the painting of the eyes and the painting of the braids. So I enjoy painting it. So I just took my time for my eyes. I used black paint as well to paint it. Everything, the lashes, I use black. Then to make it look like light, you're actually seeing something. After painting your black balls, your eyeball, then I put in also white paints, to look more realistic. Then going over to this braid, I love, like I said before, the two things I enjoy is this eyes and the braid. So first of all, I started outlining the lines by using uh the black paint. Use first of all black paint to outline the lines. Then to get the inside, what I use is a dark black and white, so as to form a gray color. It's not black to get the inside. So how I paint is I now paint because to draw this braid, if you want me to also make a video on how I did this braid, you can also let me in the comment section below. So you see it is the lines is black, but you see the inside is gray. Even if you look at my palette now, you see it's gray in color because it cannot be really black, you see. So that is what I did. So after painting to make an highlights, I don't know how to explain it, to make it look more realistic, I went in with a kind of white paint to make it more realistic. Places where I need to put darker paint, you just need to base on the picture you're working with to know where to make it darker and where to make it lighter as well. So also to get this white kind of thing to make it more realistic, I use this white paint as well on it, on just small parts of it. So this was how I got this head braiding of the hair. Then to paint your normal scarf is just based on the color you decide to go with. I've always loved orange green, and I want something that is very bright. You know, that kind of thing. So you just choose your color however you want it. So, and where the lines are tiny, please change your brush, use tiny brushes so as not to, especially when it comes to lines. So, you know, there are different lines, and because of those different lines, I have where I need to use small brushes so as not to paint across to the other lines. I have to use small brushes. Where you have to use bigger brushes, it's where there are bigger space and you have to use big brushes. So this is what I did basically here while I was changing colors of front and back.
Things I want to know. Secrets start in your heart so slow. But if you don't wanna tell me now, I guess I'll never know. Here we go, turning all the wrongs into rights. Here we go, you can take me there tonight. Whoa, this life is all we know. Whoa, I can't stay if you can't let it go. I never really know what's going on. And even when you're next to me, I feel like you were gone. It's all the things you never show. They're all the things I want to know. Secrets start in your heart so slow. But if you don't wanna tell me now, I guess I'll never know.
So also this is it when I finish painting. When I finish painting, the best way to preserve my paint is to apply acrylic clear varnish. This is it. This actually helps to protect your paint from dust, protect from anything from actually sticking on your paint. You know, so what I'm using is a clear one, you see, and also for it to glow as well. So this is basically what I use after the painting process to protect my paints, the quality of it as well. So after the painting process, we're gonna start building the frame. So I actually went to a store to get this piece of frame. So I'm trying to cut the shape I want. I already have this shape cutter that gives you a perfect angle. So all I did was just to place it, use my mini scissor and this to actually cut the slants size. So I cut like 4 pieces. I cut it based on the size of your frame. So measure your canvas. And also I also bought the small ones. I also want to because I want to build my own vintage type of frame. You know, I can actually buy this in store, but I don't want to buy the ordinary one. I just want to make the vintage one, and I couldn't. I just want to make the vintage one by myself. So I actually also have to buy this mini one I'm gonna place on the frame because the first one I did cut was a flat kind of frame. So to give it that, all this vintage frame, they comes in this kind of tiny ones you place. It comes in this type of design. You'll see in this type of designs. So I just wanted to have something that looks like this. I don't know if you understand where I'm going to. Yes. So I bought the flat one and I bought this mini one I'm gonna place on top in order to create that type of frame. So try as much as possible to measure your film. This is me using my glue, my wood glue. What I use is wood glue. If you don't have wood glue, you can also use your gum, your electric gum. gum. Yeah, you can also use it as well. But what I'm using currently now, it's my wood glue. So I've joined the four frame, the base frame together. So I'm trying to place this mini ones on top of the frame to create, when you buy frames, there are frames that are like this to create this. So I also cut it the shape of my frame so that everything will be the same. So this is me also applying a glue gum on it as well to be able to, for it to stick. But if you don't have this glue gum, you can use this electric gum. This one that is, I've forgotten the name. If I remember the name, I'll attach it here. Uh, yeah, they call it glue electric gum. Yeah, that is what they call it. I think you can use it. It works. It holds this wood as well. But what I'm using currently is a wood glue. So if you have a wood glue, fine as well. You can use that. So this is what I do. I attach it to the four places as well.
Never really know what's going on. Look at me sometimes like all you want.
So after attaching the four places and allowing it to dry, I started painting. I started painting with my black acrylic paints. I use my acrylic paint, the type of paint I use in drawing as well because it was acrylic paint. So I started painting the black. After painting the first one, I allow because acrylic paint dries very fast. So after using it, I allowed it to dry. I did another painting again. I did up to three, four paintings as well. So this is when it has finished drying up. Then, because I want this kind of vintage look, I also made this. And how do I do it? I have this silicone mold and this electric gum. So what I use the white one, pure white one. They also have the milk white one as well. I use the white one. So all I did is just to put it. I kept on put it inside there. Then you allow because it blocks it dries very fast. Sorry, it dries very fast. So all I did was just to put it there. When it dries, I peel it off. I made it couple of times, as many as I want to. So this is you can use different silicone mold, but this is the one I want. This is the one I want. I want a flower kind of pattern. So when it dries, you peel it out. And so this is more like an applique, which you can actually buy if you don't want to make one by yourself. So this is making of the applique for the frame. So this is what I did. So I cut it. The bigger ones I just remove some so as to have it in smaller pieces and in bigger pieces. So this is the smaller one from that same big ones I took out. So you can just cut it out, tear it into pieces the way you want as well. Cut it with a knife to get those shapes as well. So after doing this applique with this glue, then I had to start doing what painting as well. So I started the painting process by painting it black. Yes, I painted it black. When it dries, I use acrylic paint to paint it as well. The paint I use on the frame. So when it dries, I go in again. I think I did like 2 to 3 coating of the same paint. Same day, it dries very fast. So this is it after drying. You can wear gloves, but please try as much as possible to press something on top of your table because this is what I was going for. This sample I showed you. So press something. So to get this golden kind of this is a sample I did before. I can place on the four corners of the frame. I use this dust, metallic dust metallic dust. Yeah, they also use it on cake. I actually bought it from Timu. So to create that dust form, when it has finished drying, all you need to do, see the black paint, it has dried. Just make sure you paint it to a very, very based on the color you want. It must not necessarily be the black color. So this is me showing you. And then after painting it, you will now use this metallic glue. It's not metallic paint, metallic dust paint. It comes in a dust form. You use this metallic paint and you start dusting it lightly, then you pat it. When you dust, you pat it based on the, and you keep dusting it so that it disappears. It can, so it's not be really thick. I don't know if you understand. Then you pat it out. Then you paint it. You pat so that it will not be like you're painting in one place. I don't know. When you start doing it, you get the hang of it. So you just dust it lightly, you know. You see, you don't dust everything. Let some part be dark and let some parts be gold. You understand? So that it will not be like, yeah. So you, this is the way you do it. You do it in all the applique you have. You do it in all the applique you have, and that is how you get this that kind of flower designs they have. Yes. After dusting it on the applique, I started dusting it on the frame because I wanted the frame to, to have that vintage old kind of frame look. So I dusted it as well on the frame so that it can blend with my applique. Applique I will be putting on it as well. So you just dust it lightly. You don't have to pack everything. Dust tap, and don't paint the whole place so that it will mesh, it will come out nice. You don't have to, it's not painting. This is more like so this is more like you brushing it lightly, on the frame, not every part of the frame, just, yeah, so that it will look more vintage. Yes. This is what I basically did.
To do is run. Hear me out, hear me out.
So after dusting the metallic dust paints on it, we're going to start gluing the applique to the four corners of it. It might be the four corners for you, might just be two corners for you, however you want it to look. So this is me just mapping out how I want it to be. So all I did was just to put my glue gum, my gum on top of the applique. Then you glue it on the angle you want it to be. So this was how I did it. It's not difficult. If you make mistake, you peel it out and you glue again. So this is just me placing it. Yes, it dries very fast. So you just also have to be fast about it as well. So yeah, I just did it a couple of times. Just take your time, yeah. And if you do not get the shape and it has dried, just peel it off. Peel off the glue from the frame and start again. Yeah, start again.
It's all the things you never show. There are the things I want to know. Secrets start in your heart so slow. But if you don't wanna tell me now, I guess I'll never know. Losing almost all my energy. It's getting hard to talk to you, and I'm the only one who speaks. It's all the things you never show. There are the things I want to know. Secrets start in your heart so slow. But if you don't wanna tell me now, I guess I'll never know. Here we go.
So after applying it on the four corners of the place, this is where your frame will be looking. This is the way it will be looking. Yes. This is the way it is, so beautifully made. Just place the applique the way you want it to be. It must not necessarily be the way I placed mine. I'm just showing you how I placed mine, the way my own is. So guys, if you really enjoyed this video and you learned one or two things from this video, please do well to subscribe to my channel. Yes, or please do well to follow my page as well on Facebook and my channel as well on YouTube. My name is Shamaka Mobi on both pages. Please do well to comment, ask me any questions you like. I promise to get back to you. So this is the best way you can do a DIY frame for yourself in your house. So because I also want to hang it in one of the rooms, so I was just mapping out what I'm going to use to do it. So I use this wall kind of pepper gum. I've forgotten the name of it. This double kind of glue that you put it on the frame and put it on the wall as well. Then because I also want to put this light on top of it, I actually bought that mini light from from Shane. Yes. So I just had to, it's a magnetic kind of light. You just stick it on, then you place this on it, it magnets and it's chargeable. So that when it goes low, you can just remove it and you charge it. And after you put it back. So this is me just trying to test it to see how it is when it's dark. So it comes in different three colors, yeah. The warm, the light one, and another one. So this is me just checking it out and showing you how it is in the night. So guys, if you really enjoyed this video, please do also follow me. Do also subscribe to my videos, like, and share as well. See you guys on my next video and bye.